Alrighty. It's time to talk about gamers, I guess, because we can't have nice things. Gamers are mad about something again, I guess. And one of them was a WoW dev, and that's the part that sucks the most, is that's my childhood. But apparently, the some of the people who used to work on World of Warcraft are just grifty pieces of shit now. So we are going to be talking about which WoW dev. Grums. They go by Grums, but also they are their name is Mark Kern. They were on the original team for Diablo 2. They were on the original team for World of Warcraft. We've got some stuff, and we'll see. You'll see. Let me guess, Gamergate 2.0. Maybe not quite, but we'll get there. First, let's get into fan art. It's very, very brief, very, very quick, very easy. This is a piece from the Oberon team, a system on our Discord. Said, please be careful opening up your pudding cups. There is a slime inside. Do not open. Please don't open. He doesn't deserve that. Anyway, as always, thank you all for your fan art submissions. Anybody who dropped stuff into the fan art section of the Discord, I appreciate all of you greatly. And it's the please do not open the slime meme, and it will always be there. Jinx says, Sweet Baby Ink being against anti-SJWs is somehow bad, I guess. Yeah, no, oh boy. Oh boy. Let's cover this. Let's cover this. So I didn't know that this guy was a thing until recently, but everything he bitches about on Twitter is, gamers did woke things, and that's bad. Apparently. So this is him going, it's always the jawline! No reason to give every woman in AAA games a male jaw! So why do they do it? Did you know that some women have square jawlines? Did you know you can square your jawline more by giving blowjobs? Did you know this means that this is technically a moment where misogyny has actually backfired on somebody? Do you not want women that can give fantastic blowjobs because they have strong jaw muscles? Apparently. But, yeah, this is the main character of Star Wars Outlaws. And everybody, the Gamergate 2 people are just like, no, it's a male jawline. It's bad. We hate it. I don't see what matters here. Like, the only unattractive thing I see is the tattoo. Like, I'm not attracted to tattoos. So, like, but that's a personal preference thing. I don't see how this is a male jawline. This is just a strong jaw. This is just a strong jaw. I'm just confused. I'm just confused. And there's people, like, I've got friends that have responded on this, clowning on him. Like Booker going, every man in these replies is gay. Genuinely a bunch of goners who have never touched a real woman. Yeah, like, I don't get it. And it's not just him. This is we're going to play some Banjo-Kazooie here, because I'm ready to play some fucking Banjo-Kazooie, but we're going to bitch about this man-child and this whole spiel in greater detail during the course of this, because there's more to it than this. So, the other part of this conversation has been Stellar Blade. And Stellar Blade, the only fucking thing people can seem to talk about in regards to this game is that the main character is sexually attractive. That's it. That's all they care about. That is, from top to bottom, that's all. And I don't get it, because, like, when we look through the conversations on this, people are saying that Stellar Blade, which looks like a bog standard Bayonetta God of War spectacle hack and slash, is going to change the gaming landscape because of this character here. Now, I have those screenshots for something else. I'll show you that in a second.
EWW and ad. Time to resub.
But thank you very much for that sub, Greenwald. So, I'm going to read through this, and I'm going to read it in the voice that I feel like is most appropriate for this. I hope you're ready. This is why the technology has advanced as far as it has. Just for us as humanity to be able to capture the female body in all its glory. If the PlayStation 5 has any reason to exist, it is to show off how beautifully animated Eva's body is. It's graceful and leaves you speechless. The photo does not do this woman's body justice. It shifts up. If Shift Up started working on this in 2019, the first 2 years was spent perfectly capturing Eva's body. It is an achievement and a marvel that gives pride in humankind. You cannot own a PS5 and appreciate the female body without owning this game. My guy, if you posted this, you just need to go outside and get a girlfriend. Please, I beg of you. I beg you. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere and meet real people and get in a relationship. Get dumped because you're a misogynistic dipshit, and then learn from that experience, and then go out and find another partner and do better next time. The only thing people seem to give a shit about where this game is concerned is how hot the character is and the jiggle physics in the game. Memes get posted about this. Microsoft cautions developers to avoid curvy females. Nintendo, Bayonetta, PlayStation, Eva. It's just fucking 12-year-olds talking about this. It has to be, because nobody gives a shit about console war shit unless it's fucking 12-year-olds. Because I didn't give a shit about console war shit after I was fucking 12. Well, 15, 16, but I was banging the Wii drum for quite a while. Jeff Jassa says phrasing. Yeah, no, I'm not Catholic enough for fucking 12-year-olds. But then you've got posts like this, these lovely, lovely posts that try to clean up perfectly reasonably designed characters and make it seem like their designs have been improved just because they've added, like, female smolder or something to them. This one's Shadiversity. This is Shad. Again, a person I used to watch years ago and I had respect for, and that respect all died. It all died. Shad Brooks. The more that corrupted media tries to shovel crap to you that you don't want, ugly people, woke propaganda, and so on, the more AI will empower you to make what you want in spite of them. That's the future of AI technology, where one individual has the power so long as AI... This has been cropped, and I am not going to go find the original anymore. I don't need everything Shad says here. I don't need it here. But this is just somebody going through and cleaning up a bunch of video game characters so that they look more sexual, I guess. They don't like Mary Jane's face in Spider-Man, so they've made it a little more sexual. They don't like the way Katana looks in Mortal Kombat, so they've accentuated her cleavage more. So I grew up with old Mortal Kombat, and there's only really one character from old Mortal Kombat that deserves to stay hypersexualized. Like, you can sexualize any character you want. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with making sexy characters. But there's only one that needs to stay sexualized, and that's Mileena. Because a part of Melina's story is that she is a clone of Katana and uses Tarkatan DNA to create her, and her idea of what a sexy woman is so far-flung, fucked up, and childish that it's the only way that she can cope with who she is and how she is. Like, her being over-sexualized is written into her story, so it makes perfect sense for her to be overly sexualized, because she has a childish idea of what sexy is. It's part of her story. But does Katana need it? No. Does Sonya Blade need it? No, not really. Does any other character in the game desperately need to be over-sexualized, besides Reptile for the weird people in the chat, and you know who you are? No, not really. Not really. It is just the character who has the over-sexualization written into her story. So, like, I don't think Katana needs to be more boobly. She looks perfectly fine in the spandex outfit that she's in. It doesn't leave that much to the imagination anyway. Why do you desperately need the skin? Also, yeah, Shad keeps calling himself the professional artist when he doesn't do any artwork. Also, I love the comment on here. If ugly people aren't allowed in media anymore, are you planning on shutting down your YouTube channel? Just perfect. I don't like making fun of people's looks, generally speaking, but sometimes a person says something that makes me think that, yeah, maybe it's a bit deserved. So then one of the artists who was involved with Riot Games decided to talk about this, and they did a whole thing on what it means to create the model for a character and why that matters. That's why I have this bit over here. People were going, oh my god, you can't say she's unrealistic because she's based off of an actress. We scanned this person in, and I'm going to turn off the 3D cam for the 3D print cam because we finished the 3D print for now. I'll do more on that when I'm done with the video. But here's the thing. I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, these two characters right here, the actress and then the person that is modeled after the actress, don't look anything alike. They don't look anything alike to me at all. Bust size is completely different. Face shape is kind of similar-ish. Hairstyle is completely different. The way the eyes look is completely different. Like, several parts of the curvature are just not the way they are for the original actress. And yet, people are going, no, she's realistic because it's based off of a person. But not really. And besides, I don't think anybody's saying that it's not realistic to have an attractive woman. I don't. I think the only unrealistic thing is everybody's reaction to the damn thing, thinking this game's gonna be the second coming of Christ, because it has a sexy woman with bounce physics that look like they deserve to be in a beta for Dead or Alive. And again, I don't think you can't have sexy women in a video game. I don't. Also, these screen grabs here specifically were provided to me by Miss Lacuna. For those of you who do not know, she is a mute VTuber, and you should go watch her content. She is amazing. We did collaborations in the past. But looking at all of this shit, I have to ask myself, do we even deserve a good game as gamers if this is what everybody is going to freak the hell out about? If this is the only thing that people care about is, did you make the game have an attractive character? Like, does the game look good? Is the gameplay decent? Or is it just a bunch of really smooth animations over a mediocre engine? You know that once this game comes out, it's going to be talked about for a week and then forgotten about, right? You guys realize that, right? Because that's what happens when you have this flash in the pan shit where everybody thinks, oh wow, I disappeared completely. Huh. That's what happens when you have this flash in the pan shit where the only thing anybody cares about is that the video game has an attractive character. So the post that I wanted to look at here is this one from Michael, who did work on League of Legends, and said, case in point, I worked on the Fiora rework, and there was a shit fit had by gamers when we gave her a unique face. One that was stylized, but one that showed structure. So much of a shit fit that we had to cave into the demands. I did this paint over to make her more pretty. Now I have a question. In both of these Fiora pictures, I think they're both pretty. They're both attractive. The more angled bone structure of the bone structure is the same. It's just how prominent it is, basically. But when I think of a...
Woo.
Thank you, MC Poto. When I think of a duelist, somebody who uses a rapier to fight, which Fiora does in League of Legends, and I think of somebody who has a strict regimen for everything in their world, basically, and who is fucking stuck up as hell as a noble, which all of that does describe Fiora, I think more the left picture. The left picture perfectly encapsulates that stuck-up, arrogant, but deserving of every single piece of ego they have person. The other one, it encapsulates it too, but if I had to do it from a scale of 10, the old one does it at like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, and the new one does it at like a 6 out of 10. The new one is prettier, but it doesn't get across who Fiora is as good as the original. But the original people fucking had shit fits over. Because I guess if the girl isn't hot enough for you and you don't feel like you want to use her as a cone-shaped fleshlight, then you're not happy with the video game. Despite the fact that when you're playing League of Legends, you're not seeing this. You will never see this. This is in your loading screen for a millisecond. And then you get into your game, and you're never looking at your champion's face. You're looking at their ass. And you're looking at it from a bird's eye view of 200 feet up. And you're not even looking at your champion. You're looking at the minion. Because you should be last hitting instead of just hitting the entire wave constantly. Please, dear fucking God, last hit like a normal person. Don't just try to clear the wave constantly. I'm tired of trying to gank your fucking lane. You goddamn... I'm letting a lot of trauma seep into this, aren't I? Anyway, League of Legends is a normal game played by normal people who don't actually believe that the other people on their team deserve to have war crimes committed on them merely because they decided that breathing was something they wanted to do that day. And then there's Ranked Queue, where everything I said applies to everybody you play with, so don't play Ranked, or don't play League. I stopped playing League like 2 years ago. I don't regret that decision of not playing League anymore. Suris is a sweaty League player. When was the last time you actually played League 4 hours ago? No, I stopped playing League a while ago, and there's a part of me that wants to go back to it, but it's not strong enough to make me really want it. It's a totally normal League player here. But this idea that games are not giving us what we want as gamers anymore for one reason or another, and that we need to throw a shit fit and praise a game that just has an attractive female, despite the fact that everybody who I've talked to who's played the demo of the game have said it's all right. If you like Bayonetta, you might be into it. Like, that's about it. Hoyster says, Suris, are you a sockdem or a socialist? I mean, I consider myself a socialist, but if I have to get stuff done, I know that it's gonna work more to work with Democrats in the United States. Whatever you want to put on that, I don't care. I also don't think the labels fucking matter. I think people who work should own the means of production, as opposed to a corporate taskmaster having that power over them. Whatever the fuck you want to call that, I stopped caring a long time ago. Ideological shitfucks can go fuck themselves. But, I know, this idea that a video game is going to be so amazing merely because of the animations that you will never get to play, the borderline QuickTime events, exist in the game. And that makes it great. And the Star Wars game is bad because of the female protagonist, as opposed to the fact that it has very predatory monetization and will cost you about $130 in the beginning. Stop says, don't fuck the labels, you get paper cuts. Yeah. But anyway, this just feels like a bunch of children. This feels like a bunch of children. And the worst part is that some of those children are grown adults on Twitter who... Ugh. Oh my god, and I just found out this dude is now deciding to continue to start shit over this. The Fiora post that I just looked at, I didn't even realize until this happened. When did this happen? 2 hours ago? Damn, I should stop pre-planning my topics. Apparently, more stuff develops in them as I'm here. But dude says a former Riot artist calls me out and attempts to explain why Star Wars Outlaws looks the way it does. Very long and boring post about how art is hard and scans show too much detail. I don't think that's what he said. I don't think that's what he said in that post, though. He then said he was forced to make Riot's character look more beautiful. He fought against it. And gamers are basically misogynistic because they want women with makeup, like the real-life actor wear daily, and only want jerk-off bait. That's it. That's what this entire screed boils down to. Saved you the read. Man, you didn't even actually take the post that he used. You could also just read the post. But dude is just freaking out the entire time about how video games are woke now and bad. And when somebody calls him out, and not only calls him out, but calls him out going, hey, here's the actual stuff that happens in the industry, which you should know since you're in the industry, he then doesn't actually respond to the post. He strawmans the post in his post. But don't worry. I guarantee you he's a normal person who definitely doesn't have any weird political ideologies that we have to be concerned about. Not at all. Anyway, he was on a stream recently with Stuttering Craig, and Craig, who used to be part of Screw Attack and used to be a guy I looked up to back when I was, not quite a YouTuber yet, apparently he is doing all kinds of fucking Gamergate 2 woke games bad shit now, instead of actually talking about video game mechanics. Yay. I'm so happy that everybody that I grew up watching as a kid, it turned out to be such a normal functioning human being. Just makes me so happy. And the people who made the media that I grew up with were also normal functioning human beings. Like guy who like Mark Kern, who did dev work on World of Warcraft and Diablo. And also J.K. Rowling, who definitely started doing Holocaust denialism. Despite me growing up loving Harry Potter. Normal stuff. I'm just so happy. I also didn't have background music during this video because I thought I was going to be playing Banjo-Kazooie, and then I couldn't shut up. So I guess the end of the video is me transitioning to playing Banjo-Kazooie. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I don't think gamers deserve human rights anymore. I say that as a gamer. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Nixie-chan, the Oberon team, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.